All right, we'll dial that down. You guys hear me? Everyone there? Hi, world. We're here, Jeff Radcliffe with Post Launch, and I'm sitting here today with Greg and Jerry from Business Payment Advisors. You say hi, gentlemen.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon.
Girls.
Happy Friday.
Children.
Happy Friday to the wild, wild world of the web. Couple cool things happened this week in the world of online awesomeness. One of the things, I don't know if you guys have heard about this, Google is starting to actually indicate on mobile results. So if you look up something on your mobile phone, dentist in my area, you guys probably don't get haircuts that often. Barber in my area.
Myself.
If your site is slow, if Google has indicated that you've got a slow website, they're actually going to start indicating it on the search results.
Oh.
They're calling it their slow tag. So why would they do that? Because Google is finding that, so this is the article on Google testing a slow tag on your mobile results. Part of the reason being they want people to continue to consume Google as much as possible. And if you're on a website that's really slow, it's going to burn your battery and burn your data. So they're actually providing a better service to the people. I thought it was really pretty cool. Hopefully it doesn't cause massive outpouring of people with lousy sites, because there's a lot of people out there that are still working off websites that are several years old, and they're very, very slow. Right, like the snails. One of the things that we use when we're sort of taking a look at websites that are slow is this. We do the if you just type in Google page speed, it comes up with this little tool, Page Speed Insights, that you can click in here and throw in any URL, and it will tell you if it's slow or not. So it'll go through and kind of analyze and then spit out a report on what it looks like on a mobile device, what it looks like on a desktop device. So this is Yahoo, obviously a competitor to Google, and they're being very generous for their competitors. But 100% user experience, 94 out of 100, so they got an A, they're in a good place. Their desktop version is showing a little bit slower, and we see a lot of this. And this is one of the things that we look at when we're working with clients or talking to potential clients, to make sure that Google's not going to penalize them for slow sites, and people aren't going to be put out because they have to wait too long for a browser window to change. So when you think about it, when you're on your own mobile device, and I've got mine around here, right? My giant cell phone. When you're on your giant cell phone and you're driving around when you're not supposed to, right? You're doing all your stuff. If you come to a website, what people don't consider is the browsers on these phones are about as bad as dial-up browsers were back in 1998.
Wow.
So if you need to deal with a company, an organization, a business, whatever, you go to their site, you click one button, and if it takes longer to get to the page you need to, then the red light you're sitting at, you're gone, you're off to your next thing. So I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a neat opportunity for Google to better help the consumers, the mobile users, and bring a lot of people.
Isn't there like voice command for your mobile device, so you don't have to go punching buttons?
But even so, that's going to render the Google results. So if you if the results are saying don't go to this website because it's slow, and go to the next one.
And your company can provide a solution for that.
Yes. So that's what Post Launch does. That's part of our web presence.
It's part of your presentation, part of your analysis.
Outstanding.
That's great.
Yeah. So we look at a lot of that stuff. So I wanted to bring that up. That was a neat thing that kind of happened that came across our radar this week in the wide world of online marketing. Plenty of different things going on all the time. Why don't you guys give us a brief overview of your own organization, your company, what you guys do, why you're here, what's exciting, anything interesting happened in your world in the last week or month or year that you find particularly awesome?
Absolutely. I'm Greg Meredith, and Jerry Harpin works with me. I own Business Payment Advisors. I've been in the payments industry for about 25 years, and everybody's using Visa, MasterCard, American Express, bank payments overseas. So we specialize in helping business get paid faster and paying their bills faster. So anything to do with moving money is what we do, and we do it worldwide. We also do business finance, which is hard to place loans for businesses because banks aren't lending, among other things. But our clients, we do a lot of online business for businesses paying to other businesses.
Very
the B2B
cool.
world is huge.
Very
and we process about $2 billion in B2B credit card transactions. Everybody listening in has used a website and a shopping cart, and that's getting more and more in the B2B world. We also do brick and mortar stores, and everybody's getting those little EMV chips in their cards now.
Yeah, let's explain those to people.
Educate everybody. EMV stands for European MasterCard Visa.
Should I show?
And so there's the acronym. And you guys are all getting these little cards. They have an extra chip rather than to swipe just the mag strip. The mag strip's easy to duplicate and steal. So when in a retail setting, with the new machines, the card will actually stay in the credit card machine while it's reading the information, much less, it's a lot easier, a lot tougher to duplicate.
Right.
The merchant, if you own a business and you don't have a machine that's EMV ready and you have a fraudulent card, in the new rules, you will absorb the loss. Now, a lot of people don't know who the players are. The issuing bank is the one that sends you guys all those credit card offers. They do it for business. They do it. The issuing bank keeps most of the money that the merchant pays. In fact, they keep 85% of it. Visa, MasterCard, they get a little bit. And then the credit card processor, like me, we get a little bit. But that's why you get all those zillion credit card offers, is because they're making most of the money. And if you own a business, you're getting corporate card offers, and they've done a very good job of charging a lot more to the merchant for those cards.
Right.
So the acquirer, like we are the acquirer. We move the money from the cardholder bank to my client's bank.
Okay.
And that's what we do.
Okay.
And we do it bank to bank too. We do it around the world and solve problems like we're talking to you guys about, because your clients are paying you every month for your services.
Right.
And want to make sure that the card's not compromised. We do everything in the cloud, all the security, the PCI, the payment card industry regulations are all met.
Regulations. Good.
And that's what that stands for, PCI. You got some more?
You mentioned the advantage of a merchant who does acquire EMV-enabled equipment and what the benefit is to that merchant.
Yeah, it's coming down. They need to have it by October, and if they don't have it, they're at risk for the fraud.
Okay.
Now, the chances of someone taking a stolen credit card in to buy a bunch of donuts, I don't know. But, if it smells like a duck, you got to watch it.
Sure.
Up till this point, the cards handle all that fraud.
Right.
In the card not present world where we live, there's no EMV conversion involved because it doesn't work.
Okay.
That way.
So the actual merchant, if somebody comes in and they're not doing the dual verification or allowing these types of things, that's a big deal, right? Because the merchant can be beholden for the.
It is a big deal, and it doesn't cost much to get up to date. Okay.
Okay.
Whether a merchant has whatever they have going on, whatever kind of business, we could, we're like you. We analyze what they have and see how we can help them.
Perfect. And
sometimes they have a great deal set up, and we tell them that.
And that doesn't cost anything.
No.
You guys to come in and take a look at everything.
No.
And it's easy now, right? All you really need is the last couple statements and take a look. A
couple statements is never about the price, but people don't understand the statement because a lot of our competitors, they just charge too much.
Right.
And you can't read it. It's worse than your cell bill. Okay. It's terrible.
Right.
It's terrible. And we're like you guys, man. It's all about the value to the client. And if you differentiate on value, you can make a couple bucks.
Right. And I think that's really, really important. And I want to stick on that point for just a second. The value to your client. And I'm going to go ahead and throw under the bus the people that have been doing our credit card processing prior to this stuff. The guy showed up at my office on a skateboard in a tank top and said, "Does anybody need credit card processing?" This was when I was working for another company. He caught me at the right time. And I said, "Actually, yeah, I'm starting a company. Post-launch was with the company I was starting. I need a solution." He just happened to walk right in the door about a week before I was ready to pull the trigger on this. So I haven't heard from the guy since. We got signed up every time I need a call, every time I've had a question about something going on, which hasn't been that often. It really isn't. I mean, it's not like, if it's working, it's great, right? It's like insurance. We don't think about it until we need something changed. But we've had to probably call in our 2.5 years of business maybe half a dozen times, and we can't seem to get an answer to save our lives. The system that we use, it seems to be working fine, but we don't know. We don't know if we're getting good rates. We don't know. It lends itself, and one of the things I like to talk about on the show is business partnerships, right? And when you meet someone who you know is going to be good, and you've been doing this for how long now?
25 years.
So that says something.
Since I was 10.
The fact that you found a successful niche in business is probably as much a measure of your personality as it is that you have a quality product to sell.
I like to help people.
That's good.
Before this, I owned a branch of a broker-dealer, stock brokerage.
Nice.
And I made money, but my clients didn't.
Right.
And I hated that.
Right.
I like everybody to make money.
Good.
I like everybody to win. And when I found this business,
Right.
it was right for me because I work from a consultative point of view.
Right.
And back then it was all credit card machines.
Yeah.
Back then the B2B world didn't exist.
Right.
But I have clients that have processed with me for 10 years.
That's amazing.
That's what I like to talk
That's
about.
great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. And I saved them $466,000 the first year and every year since or more.
That's fantastic.
Because they were with somebody else that was on a skateboard.
Right. Right.
Here's the deal. Most of these guys that come in, they're doing it out of the trunk of their car. I'm sorry.
Yep.
But then, this week, that guy's selling Chevys.
Yeah.
He's not into business anymore. When you guys get a website
Well, he's on a
going,
skateboard. I'm sure he's selling weed or something.
yeah. When you guys get a website going, pretty much it's going along
Right.
for your clients. Same type of thing. The processing's working for you.
Right.
But Kirk met Jerry out at a bar somewhere. No. At a business function, actually.
At a fight club.
And Fight club doesn't exist. And then that's how we're here.
Great.
Yeah, okay. And we like relationships because it's a two-way deal. You guys are right the client that we love. Because you have a lot of recurring,
Yep.
you have business owners, and you guys don't want to worry about this. Here's what our service is for these guys.
Right.
We'll take this over. You never have to worry about it.
Right.
In the past, people in our industry, there's been some people, but we're on that C level. Okay, if our client's not going to treat us like their accountant and their attorney, well, then that's not a good relationship.
Right.
Because we're that important.
That's
And
good.
with the growth of Visa, MasterCard, and the cards and the mobile devices,
Yep.
and boy, hopefully everybody on this call owns Visa stock. I'm not a stock broker, but thank God I have some of that stuff. It's not going backwards.
Right.
It's
Right.
not. They control it. It's their football. The fees on the corporate cards, the basic fee, the interchange fee that the issuer bank gets has more than doubled for corporate cards.
Crazy.
So, for a restaurant or a hotel, when they take all those corporate cards, they're paying a more higher base rate
Right.
than a consumer card like you might have.
Right.
Okay? So now they're putting corporate interchange rates on consumer cards.
Really?
Like a Visa signature card. You know why they're doing it? Because they can.
Yeah.
Okay?
Give them a sense of how many different card types there are.
245 different interchange fees just on Visa, MasterCard alone.
That's
Okay?
crazy.
Yeah,
Mind
real
blowing.
crazy.
So, to the people out there that are tuned in, and myself included, let's pick apart my stuff.
Okay.
Let me use my specific scenario because I'm comfortable talking about it live on the internet. When we signed up with that guy, and I'm sure there's plenty of other people that are out there in the same space, what would prompt me to even think that it's time to change? I mean, is there a timeline that you suggest that people get? How much?
Yeah,
Is there a processing threshold monthly that it's there's where the savings become really significant?
The statements are so hard to read
Okay.
that 90% of our clients never read the statements.
Right.
Okay, they can't. Some of our competitors even back bill.
Right.
So how'd you like to you get your statement November 3rd, you got October's charges, but you've got the fees for September. You'll never bounce.
Nope.
You never bounce.
A business is supposed to balance.
I don't know.
Well, maybe not internet businesses.
And just like I educate you, and when we were here with Kirk the other day, he said, "Man, I learned a lot from you." We want to educate our clients where we know where it's going.
Right.
Because frankly, if we made all that money, we wouldn't be here today. We'd own an island.
That'd be great, right?
Yeah. But there's plenty of money going around. We're providing an unlimited unsecured line of credit. Think about this.
Okay.
I'm going to say that again. An unlimited unsecured line of credit is what we provide for our client.
That's great.
You go to the bank and that's 10%.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah.
It would, it's 3% or 2% or whatever it is.
Right.
And once everybody understands where the money goes, and we get a little bit here,
Yep.
okay, so that's why we answer the phone, and that's why we're providing the service, and then they're comfortable with that.
Right. Right.
Okay? I've asked 1,000 clients or potential clients, are you the cheapest in your industry? Oh, no. I'm actually on the higher side.
Are you?
Okay, so, well, you don't mind if we make some money.
Right.
Okay, and there's guys that running around to these stores and they're talking about, a basis point is 1/100%.
Oh wow.
So 100 basis points is 1%. You guys will sell you down the road for 5 basis points, man.
Yeah.
Come on, you got to make some money somewhere. So that's when we explain to our client and understand, and then the value that we have, because they don't want this to ever go down.
Right.
We don't want one of your big hitter clients' card to get compromised.
Right.
We don't need that. Nobody
Right.
needs that.
Right.
So that's the security, and then we just opened an office in New York, and we just opened an office over in Florida. Okay, boom, it's up and going.
Perfect.
Everything on the internet.
PCI compliance.
And our clients have our cell phone, by the way.
Yes.
You're braver than I am.
But we have 24-hour service, so they call there first.
Sure.
You know, we're not the first call.
Okay.
We say, hey, if you don't get happy, then you call.
That's good. That's good. So let's maybe see if we can pull some averages. And I know every single business is different, but let's say someone, they got sold on some credit card processing. They're processing $1 million a year. If you look at it, you know, if you were to come in, somebody who hasn't had a chance for optimization of those fees, do you, if someone was processing $1 million a year, do you have an average on how much they might be able to spend if they were to get someone who knew what they were looking at to take
Most of our clients we find are paying 20 to 40% too much.
That's crazy.
Okay. Now keep in mind, is it $1 million on consumer cards, or is it $1 million on corporate cards? There's the difference.
Right.
Say it's got card type, ticket size, volume. Okay. That's
20 to 40% back in your bottom line. For credit card process. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That could be really significant.
It is.
Well, like the example I gave you, that was pretty extreme.
Right. Right.
But people don't understand, and the education is a big part, because we're dealing a lot with CFOs in the B2B world.
Right.
You know, in the retail world, we deal with the business owner, and there's a little different challenges there.
Okay.
We deal with wholesalers and software companies and publishers and, you know, advertising companies. No one's driving their card over to pay you guys.
Right. That's true. No, they don't. We had one guy paying cash one time. That was interesting. I wasn't sure what to do. He's like, "Can I come and pay in cash?" And I said,
"Wheelbarrow." No. Yeah, and then the card storage. You know, you got to make sure. You know, we're not storing. Nobody sees the whole number.
Right.
It's truncated, and so you know, it's a great system.
Good.
And we're bringing international capabilities on board.
Oh, very cool.
There are very few outlets that are equipped to do that, have the channel connections.
Right.
We do.
Yeah, we can process any legal business in the world.
That's great.
There's also some exciting stuff coming. Maybe I can talk next week about a virtual gift card.
I like that.
That can be used with any business.
That's great.
And it takes the Visa, MasterCard. Well, you use the Visa, MasterCard to buy the gift card, but then the merchant doesn't pay those Visa, MasterCard fees when he accepts the gift card.
That's great.
Like that?
That'd be fantastic. I should give those out as Christmas gifts to my leads that I can't close this week.
They're all virtual. You can do a hard card too, but these are virtual cards.
That's great.
So it can work in certain industries.
That's great.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. This was on the news this morning on the whatever it was, Today Show. My wife makes me watch in the mornings. So it's I hate calling it news because it's like fake celebrity garbage, right?
Oh, Fox.
Yeah, it's entertaining in the morning. She puts it on so I don't sleep in. I get, frustrated. So the retailer's getting frustrated with the new machines.
Oh, here you go.
Right? And this was I thought it was interesting because I got frustrated when I did it because I didn't get a PIN. Well, if I did get a PIN, I wasn't aware. So
with your iPhone 6?
No, this was on. So this is actually just the new credit card system. This is referring to the EVM chip. EVM, right?
No,
EMV.
EMV. We'll get it straight, Radcliffe. This little chip here. The fact that you have to stick it in the bottom of the machine versus swiping it anymore.
Yeah.
Correct.
And let it sit there. And mine didn't work, and I actually hadn't been issued a personal identification number from American Express. Or if they had, they mailed it, and it was sitting in some pile somewhere. Yeah. So I had grocery cart full of stuff from Target. And the poor clerk didn't know what to do. And we're just, we're all sort of standing there staring at each other like a bunch of buffoons.
Some machines
that
are out that are EMV equipped or ready or capable do not have the software that activate the chip reader.
Okay.
Some of them aren't completed yet. Some companies are waiting to add that software before the end of the month.
Yeah.
Right. So this is kind of what I'm talking about, and I'll see if I can find a good picture here. With the credit card going in the bottom of the machine,
right?
Versus on the swipe. So, why do they still have the swipe on the side then? Is that something that?
Some cards, the issuer might not have,
Okay.
They're going to do both for a while.
Okay.
Like I said, if the retailer is compliant and has this installed and is ready to go, he has no risk.
Okay.
If he chooses to roll the dice, as they say in Vegas, and not get this. And if somebody comes in and buys a bicycle tire and is a fraudulent card, he's liable.
Very cool.
Yeah. If the issuer hasn't done the card, if the issuer hasn't replaced the card, then they're liable.
That's right.
So your issuing bank, whoever that is, U.S. Bank or B of A or whoever, they're responsible if they don't replace the card.
Okay.
In the old days, Visa, MasterCard covered all fraud.
Right.
And I had to call my bank and request chip-enabled cards to replace my MagStripe cards.
Are you recommending that everybody does that?
Well, I think awareness, knowing this is something that's worthwhile.
Right.
And if you haven't received one from your card issuer, then get on the phone. Call them.
I would. And unless it's a real small issuer, they're getting them.
Okay.
Because I have a number of corporate cards and personal cards, and they've all come out.
Perfect.
So that's very, very important.
Good. Let me see here. I had your website up. I was gonna take a look at your stuff. This is yours, right?
Be gentle.
I'll be gentle.
I have so many clients. I can't spend time fixing my website.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But I'm going to give you 3 or 4 really cool things that you can do to better engage on the site.
Good.
So we look at this. Actually, this is a very clean site. It's easy to see. It's easy to read. A couple little things that we look at. One, I would recommend getting add a local number to your toll-free number.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be 702, but at least there is a genuine distrust of consumers online to see an international or toll-free number, because a lot of people think nowadays that that's something overseas.
Okay.
And you guys pride yourselves on your relationship with your clients, letting them see that listen, we're a legitimate agency. We're in the States. We're in Las Vegas. How much of your business percentage-wise is in Las Vegas? Most of it?
No.
Okay.
We have a ton of business nationwide.
Okay.
So I would say less than 10%.
Okay.
But that's growing.
Yeah, that's growing. And if you want to take something like that to the next level, there's a cool tool out there that will programmatically change your phone number based on where people are accessing your site from. So if they're from San Diego, it shows up as a 619. If they're from Anaheim, it shows up as 714. Cool. New York shows up as 212.
Oh, no.
That's pretty cool.
It is called
858 in San Diego too now.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right. My mother has 858.
I'll have to look up the company that I was exposed to that
That's
did
a great
it the
idea.
other day. But
it's a great idea.
It was pretty cool. Someone who was showing it to me brought it up on the Total Gym website. You guys remember the Chuck Norris?
Yeah.
Sure.
And
is he still alive?
He's still running those commercials.
Yeah, Chuck Norris never goes anywhere, right?
Just new hair pieces.
Right. So their site isn't anything sexy, and they may have taken it down now, or maybe this isn't even him. Maybe this is a reseller. Total Gym Direct. Let's go back. Sorry, and I hope it does it. If I pull this up and it doesn't do it, I'm going to be really pretty embarrassed. But last couple times I was looking at the site, they're based out of California, but the number would show up as the Las Vegas phone number, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that is.
No, this is good, an 858 number. So they must have taken it down, but I thought it was a pretty cool opportunity.
So this would have been a feature through Total Gym, or they just happen to have it?
It's just a little widget you put on your website that handles it for you. Plus the phone calls can be tracked if you want people to track your phone calls.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right.
So we look at a website. One of the things that's the most important is who we are, what we do, why you should do business with us, and how to do business with us. It will be the most important things to hammer home on a website right out of the gate. So who we are, Business Payment Advisors is right there. We know who you are. That's great. What we do. What we do is something that has to slap people in the face in 7 seconds, or they move right on. We've got some great space right here where you're a trusted partner for your business, but that can mean a lot of things, right? Are you an attorney, or you're doing banking?
I wanted to look like an attorney.
Okay, so I would modify this just a little bit to say, where you're a trusted payment processing and business funding partner for any business, for most businesses. Just modify the content a little bit. Your calls to action are fantastic. Get started. This couldn't be more obvious on what I'm supposed to do. Click this big giant button. Contact us for a free consultation. This is awesome. So who we are, what we do, how to do business with us are great. One of the things, you've been doing this for 25 years. That would be really great to call out.
Right.
Your trusted business partner for more than 25 years. Let's get that in there. People are going to believe on it, and people are going to say, wow, these guys really know what they're doing. So a couple little opportunities there.
And they also know we drink coffee and need glasses.
Yeah. There you go.
And have the original iPad. Is this link not working? Oh, there we go.
Well, see, I'm one of those businesses that from time to time looks for a new web guy too, so that might be a reason we're sitting there.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, if you came to me and said I need a new website, I would say no, you don't. I wouldn't sell you a new website.
No,
Those
are great ideas. Those are great ideas.
The other thing is, this is a rotating image, but it's the same image. It goes back and forth.
Wasn't like that. It was rotating.
With different images?
Yeah. My web guy's kind of MIA a little bit.
Uh-oh. They do that from time to time.
I think he's on that skateboard movie.
That could be selling weed and payment processing.
Came as a referral from a friend. Came as a referral from a friend here in Vegas.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and this image cut off, I'm not sure what it says right underneath here, but that would be something.
I don't ever look at my website. But yes, no question.
And that's fine. The reason that I bring it up, and it doesn't have to, your website probably, just like our website, isn't really a lead generation tool. No, you meet people through referrals, you meet people through networking, you travel.
Eye to eye.
So we're very much in the same boat, because the last thing that you want, which is the last thing that I want, is people picking up my phone saying, what does this cost?
Right.
What does this cost?
Exactly
What does this cost? Because we're not selling you on cost. We're selling you
on service.
Value.
On service. And if I tell you, I mean, even if you told me, it's 0.13% of the interchangeable, people are going to be like, oh.
Well, by the time he's called you, he's called 10 other people.
Right.
My biggest mistake I ever made in the 90s was a Yellow Page ad.
Right.
Because by the time they called me, they called 10 other of my competitors.
Right.
And it was $930 a month. And that was a lot of money back then.
That's insane.
Yeah.
For the Yellow Pages?
For the year.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
I made it work because I knew how to do it, but it was still the biggest mistake ever. Yeah. And,
so those little things I would change. Google actually isn't loving rotating images right now, because someone could find your website, be looking for merchant services, and your image could rotate to puppies. And now Google sent someone to the wrong site.
Oh.
Well, it was actually rotating different pictures of our company.
Okay.
Is what it was doing.
Okay.
So
personally, I would rather, if I were going to do just a little bit of tweak on the design, I would suggest turning this into more of a tiled layout. So if we wanted to showcase a few things, here's our, break it into forced plots.
Right.
Learn about our company, learn about who we are, learn about what we do. And every one of them has a get started button.
Right.
That would be it. Otherwise, you guys have, I'll give your site an A-.
Well, that's because I'm sitting next to you and I can
Wow.
expect it. But I saw that bottle of scotch over there, so I'm okay with that.
Right.
One other thing that if you're a business owner and you're trying to expand or buy inventory, banks aren't lending, and we have a program where if a business is strong, any strong business, we can loan money to.
Very cool.
And it's a matter of 4 or 5 days where the money's in there, and then they just pay us back 20 days on business days.
Okay.
And so that is available.
That's pretty cool.
Probably twice your revenue. If you've got a company where you're doing $100,000 a month, we could probably get you $200,000 if you wanted that.
Very cool.
Banks, SBA takes 4 months and you can't get it. They turn you down, and they're just not loaning people. This money is available to any solid business. We do it on the strength of the company.
Do you look at so obviously you look at the books, you look at the bank records, you probably talk to the people. Is this a private fund that you guys are managing?
Yes, it is.
Are you also taking investors?
Yes, we are.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we
excellent.
are.
So that would be
mind. Yeah.
that would be a good thing.
You're visionary.
Yeah. Here's the deal. It's not based on credit, and there's no personal guarantee.
Okay.
Because we're based on the strength of the business.
Right.
And some of our lenders will do business loans for companies that have only been in business for a few months.
That's great.
And so we've got
what a great tool. I can't tell you how many people come to me on a regular basis and say, "Where can we find money for our business?"
Mm-hmm. That's right.
This is really pretty fantastic, and a lot of people, they don't know. If you want to start a business, like you said, going through the SBA route is difficult. One, you're signing your life away.
Sure.
Right?
And you got to put your kids on there in your house and your car.
Yeah.
And did you know you can't give yourself a raise if you have an SBA loan?
I didn't know that.
Somebody told me that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, now this would be, well, we do have some sources for some startups too, but this would be, post-startup, kind of like post-launch.
I like that.
But, we have some sources for startups, but, there's so many people looking for that.
Right.
That's a big task right there.
Well, this is really powerful. And so what would someone do? What's the process if they're interested in potentially
taking? All you do is give us a call.
Okay.
And we would just take a look at their bank account.
Yep.
And find out what they want to use the money for.
Yep.
Okay, you don't want to do this and put it in a bank.
Right.
It has to be for a project. We'll tell you that our average client comes back to us 4 or 5 times.
Nice.
For additional funds.
Perfect.
You just did one, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you said you prefer to keep these shorter term?
These terms can go up to 2 years.
Okay.
But the average term is probably 6 months.
Perfect.
Okay. 6 months to 8 months. But it can be tailored.
This is a very rare offering. I mean, you almost never meet someone who's willing to do private equity or what they used to call hard money for businesses if they're not in the real estate space.
And we can do it off the credit card processing, or we prefer to just do it off the bank account.
Very cool.
We call that an ACH and then we agree on an amount, and we pull out a certain amount every day, Monday through Friday.
Nice.
But,
and you guys can do factoring as well? If people
we can do factoring as well.
Very
Absolutely.
nice.
Factoring's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
The systems are making it so affordable that we have programs where some clients, we factor 100% of their invoices.
Really?
100%.
That's great.
It's because it's automatic.
Yeah.
It's automatic. For those of you that don't know, factoring would be, you've got $100,000 worth of invoices that are due in 40 days.
Right.
And we'll pay it at a discount now and then collect that money.
So this is something that we were flirting with not too long ago. We had a really big contract from a medical group from the East Coast, and they were on net 90 terms. And we went ahead and we were looking at options because, it was a big contract for my firm to float that long without actually taking any money in. Yeah. Typically when people hire us, we're taking money from day one. But, factoring became a really, really, certainly when it went well past the 90 days, factoring was a big opportunity for us to say, hang on, this is a legitimate contract, this is a legitimate organization.
So what happened?
The money came in about day 100, I think. So
wow.
Yeah. We got it. It worked out.
3%. We'd be glad to help you guys with that. Yeah. People don't understand. They're sending out invoices 2%, 10 net 30. They're paying to act like a bank.
Right.
If you act like a bank, we treat you like a bank.
Right.
We've got an online bill pay, online invoicing program where the client can click and pay with their checking account, click and pay with their credit card.
Very cool.
We also have a prepaid debit program for businesses where they can issue a virtual debit card to each one of their vendors.
Nice.
And it's instantaneous.
Nice.
The money moves on the debit card rails.
Huh.
So it's instantaneous. That's pretty good.
Cool. That is really cool.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
You'd have preferred that rather than waiting 100 days. See?
Yeah, I sure
If you had my program, then they could have paid you with that. See, that's all available now.
That's
to
really
automate
cool.
This thing.
That's
Humans
really
are expensive, so you want to eliminate that paper. And every government agency pays with purchasing cards. City, state, federal government.
Okay.
Bank, hospitals pay with purchasing cards. So
Right.
if you're selling to a hospital, you need to accept purchasing cards, and it's a special process with special programs.
Yeah. Yeah. So on the investor side of this, if somebody's interested in coming in and throwing some money at it, you probably have some criteria that you look at.
Yeah, I got to be an accredited investor.
Okay.
Which they would know what that is.
Okay.
Okay. Accredited investor has a net worth of over $1 million or has an income of over $250,000.
Okay.
This is not, this is not going into a CD.
Yeah, we're not putting this.
Yeah. But we pick
That's
and
good.
choose. The investor gets to choose which program he'd like to go into. So once we vet the company and we have a worthy client and we're going to loan them X, then the investor looks at this and says, yeah, I'd like to be in that.
That's cool.
Okay.
That's great.
And they can come in for, we're always 50-50 with the actual money guys. They can come in for 10 or 20, 30, 40% of that.
Very cool.
So it's very flexible and get paid every day, as it collects over the term.
Perfect.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
22 days a month. Yeah, that's
a lot better than that stock market's been to in the last few months.
That we've gone through. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's shift gears for a minute. I'm going to rip apart this website. That's not it.
That's Jerry's?
I wish.
This is a company we were just speaking with moments before we sat down and started broadcasting. This company is an off-track betting casino in Kentucky. And they've come to us, and we're really, really excited because this website needs some help in a big, big way. If you remember me going back to the who we are, what we do, why you should do business with us, and how to do business with us, it's really, really difficult to get almost any of that here. Who we are, Ellis Park. Well, what is that? Unless you're already connected with the brand, I don't even know. What do we do? I see slot machines. Maybe you have slot machines. Their big push is the racing, right? They've got 9,000 or 10,000 people every single Saturday that come to watch live horse racing.
In the casino.
Well, they have a casino and then they have an actual live racetrack at the same time. So I mean, it's family fun. It's an event. These are the things that really need to be up front and slap people in the face.
So they have a casino, but they also have virtual
racetrack.
Yeah, there's an actual racetrack.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
You see, but we don't know it from the website.
Yeah.
Well, I keep jumping around here. This is so this is one that we were looking at. We also have to look at mobile responsive. How does this render on a cell phone? Let me center this up a little bit. So this is a great way to tell. This is something that everyone can do. Grab their own website and shrink it down as far as it goes. Does it work? Does it look good? Do you have a horizontal scroll? If you're scrolling back and forth, then your website is not mobile responsive, and you should kind of take a look at it. Oops, pulling up too much stuff here.
Something trendy today, you may have heard of FanDuel. Has been banned in Nevada.
Yeah.
And they sent email messages to anybody who has an account with them. I'm one. Saying they're shutting it down until further notice.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
I wonder how they're going to actually police that.
They are able, I guess, to know who their members
are,
where they live.
That you can't play from Nevada.
Right.
I don't know how they do it.
But if
you're the tech guy.
Well, so they can do it, but the onus is going to be on FanDuel.
It is. It is on them.
To be able to.
There are other competitive sites.
Sorry. DraftKings, right?
That's the one.
Yep.
DraftKings.
So FanDuel, I wonder if... So FanDuel is going to have to go through and say, block me from going and playing on their own. I wonder if they'll actually do it. Because even if the Nevada Gaming Board says you can't do this in Nevada...
Well, there are negotiations with them, and it's in, I think, both parties' interests to resolve it.
Yeah.
Right.
Big business.
Right.
You bet.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. Hopefully it won't be too long until they're back up and running again.
We've got the technology, by the way, to do credit cards on the mobile devices too.
Oh, really?
That's specific technology for that.
So in-app purchasing as well as swipe type of, the Square type of tools?
Well, if somebody's got a Square, I'm talking about buying through an app, a card not present purchase.
Okay.
So our merchants can have that available as well.
Very cool.
Actually, the Square thing is pretty cool. It all helps. I don't deal with those kind of merchants because they're small, little guys.
The farmers market merchants.
Yeah, but it's great, man.
Like salon owners.
Your plumber and stuff. You know how much hassle it used to be setting up 5 different women at a beauty salon because they were all independent contractors?
I don't know what the hassle was. But
oh, my God.
I do.
Yeah.
So let me jump back to this one really quick. This is the one we were looking at. Who we are, what we do, why you should do business with us isn't really played up, and then how to do business with us. So what am I supposed to do? Call you, email you, come in. There's no link for a map. There's no link for an address. There's no phone number. All things that we take a look at when we're going through and trying to optimize an account or present.
Mr. Ellis's nephew did that website.
Could be.
You guys go in and you give them a recommendation, you revamp the whole thing, you include a marketing program that keeps it ongoing, because hopefully you're like us, you want your client forever.
Right.
Exactly. Right. And I tell the clients that.
Right.
I want you to never have to go anywhere else. So some guy calls you off the street, you're going to say, I work with Greg and Jerry.
Exactly.
Or I work with Jeff.
Exactly.
Or, I'm covered.
Yep.
That's your goal. That's your goal, that's our goal, right?
Yep.
No, exactly.
Always.
And our whole, like I said, our whole roster of clients, everyone we worked with has all been word of mouth referrals.
Absolutely.
Which is really fantastic. And we, we keep a pretty full list. We're floating right about 60 active clients right now, but almost every single one. This week we're finalizing, at post-launch, we're finalizing a sort of merger acquisition with one of our competitors here in town, which was really, really pretty exciting. Power of networking, right? One of our guys met him at a networking event. We sort of hit it off. We had different niches. But they were 2 guys, and they were doing some things they don't want to do, but they did. They were really good at some areas that we hadn't focused on, and so it was just a match made in heaven. So it took about 2 weeks, and we've already got about $1 million in business together.
There are no accidents.
That we're pumping. I know.
That's great.
It's really pretty stellar.
I think I know the company.
Do you?
We
won't call them out until the ink dries.
No. There you go.
Okay. So that's great. So for us, we're going to need even more credit card processing opportunities.
Well, guess what? We can do.
I know. We should help out.
I hope we don't run out of merchant ID numbers, Jerry. Make sure.
Not likely.
Okay.
Well, let me ask. So here's a situation that has been presented to us. One of our new big clients has a pretty healthy marketing budget that they spend, but they want us to float their ad spend online. They've hired us to do a lot of things that we do, but they also want us to buy their ads online. If somebody runs into a situation like that where we might need to float, it's not a ton of money, maybe $5,000 a month for something like that. Would your financing solutions be something that they could have access to?
Sure.
Awesome.
Explain how that works. So they sell an ad, they want to get paid right away. And then their client's not going to pay them for a month?
Sort of.
I don't know how you guys sell ads on the internet.
They want to. So here, let me find.
Tell me the deal.
Let me pull one up here. I'm gonna go back to the web, and I'm gonna go back to something timely. Halloween costumes. I just googled the word Halloween costumes. Every single one of these that say ad are paid. Costume Express is paying to be at the top of these results.
Works every day.
Spirit Halloween is paying next. Anytime you see this little
how much do they pay?
These guys right now are probably paying a lot. I would guess that they're probably paying $5 for me to click this link to come through and visit their website, because Halloween's in 2 weeks and it's really pretty tiny. Yeah. If they're smart, a local Halloween store could easily spend $10,000, in the month leading up to
online
Halloween.
Advertising.
Right.
But it's seasonal.
So, it is. Right. Yeah, not a lot of people buying Halloween costumes in February, right? Mm-hmm. So
we only got 69 million results there. So.
Yeah. So we look at, we take a look at this. Now, this money goes to Google. Somebody comes to us and they say, we want to buy ads on Google. And the statistics are interesting. Only about 30% of the people that will do this search will actually click these ads. We have an inherent distrust of advertising. A lot of people do. It goes back to referrals and relationships, right? So we look at this. People that know this is coming up first because they've paid the most for me to. If I don't care,
their site.
Right? If I don't care, that's fine. Which is why we start looking down in what are called the organic results here. These people are coming up first. One, because their site is designed to come up first, and two, because there's been a lot of people visiting their site that haven't left right away. So their domain gets an authority score, their URL, and the better it is, the higher it ranks when people type in the keywords that they've got. So, ad buys. When a client comes to me and says, I want to buy ads, the ideal situation is I say, great, give me your credit card, we'll set a budget, we'll build your campaign, we'll buy your ads for you. This one came to us and said, we want you to build our campaign, run our ads, do all our stuff, but we want you to pay for it and then just invoice us on what you spent. So for us, that's a situation that comes up quite a bit, but they want to pay by check. They're a big organization. They're not going to put a credit card up that we can just hit for something like that. But we might be left holding that bag for 30 days after we've actually spent the money. So
what's their terms on paying you after you invoice?
Net 30.
What about being able to go in and just pull it out? We're talking about that agreement.
That would be great, yeah. And they're in their healthcare space, but you've dealt with healthcare companies that can rush that through in a great way.
No more checks, no more. You just
ACH.
Go pull it. It's ACH.
Yeah.
Cost you $1, $2.
That's great, right?
No fee. No credit card fee.
Slam dunk.
Okay, done.
Yeah.
Done.
They're asking you to be the bank. That's all.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all. So.
Yep. And we're in a search marketing company. We're in a growth industry, but our margins aren't huge. We charge what the market will bear for what we sell.
Sure,
we don't overcharge people because it's really easy to start shopping around based on price, which we don't want. We don't want to be compared on price the same way that you don't, because our service is different than what you're getting somewhere else.
Price never makes a sale.
Right.
All value.
Right.
So you just got to have a guarantee of a certain amount of ads that they're going to put with you, and then a contract for a certain period of time.
Right.
We can work out the logistics of the money flow.
Perfect.
There's plenty of money out there.
That'd be great. That would be something that's really pretty
we can also get an issuer that we are connected with to issue them a purchasing card.
Right.
With a $200,000 limit.
Love it.
That would
that gets you off the hook.
That's great.
And once they understand how safe this is, and hey, we're just going to pull this invoice once we get, or whatever.
Right.
It's safe.
Right.
So there's a lot of options there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something neat as well that happened online. This came out this week, or I stumbled across this week. I guess this was announced in March. Jeep is producing this sort of limited edition throwback Jeep. They call it a Jeep Cherokee Chief. And somebody put it up on social media, and I fell in love with this thing. I said, "This is so cool." It looks like the old Jeeps from the 70s, and it's got some really what's going on here? Hip styling, off-road ready. Like all the windows come down. It's got classic Jeep stuff
but all the new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the interior. There we go.
Oh, there.
Looks pretty slick, right?
Oh boy, that isn't from the 60s or 70s.
No. So I thought this was kind of neat. And I was like, good for Jeep. And I got all excited, and I started calling around all the Jeep dealers in town. And half of the agents at the Jeep stores had no idea that this was coming out. So I said,
what a shock.
I said, I want to get, this is great. I called Tobin Jeep here in town. If they're a client of yours, they're about to get bashed. So, sorry.
No, they're not.
I called them up and I said, I want to talk to someone about this Jeep Cherokee Chief. And they said, oh, okay. And they had a guy call me back in a few minutes. And he says, what do you want? I said, the Cherokee Chief. What's that? Never even heard of it. I said, you are kidding me. You don't know what your
product is.
Right. This is coming down so the guy looked it up. And he says, holy cow, that is so cool. I want one of those. And I said, well, I want one. I called you first. What do I need to do to get one? So he looked. He's like, oh man, they're going to be on the lot in 3 weeks. So I said, great, I want one. Put my name on whatever list I need to get this. And
right.
So
it wasn't about price.
No.
You don't even know what they're selling for.
Well, now I don't want to buy it from them. I want to go to another Jeep
Has he
dealer.
followed up with you yet?
No.
It's unbelievable how many calls that don't get followed up.
Right.
I have a nice house in Rose Ridge. I wanted to get that fake grass in front.
Yeah.
And I called 4 companies because I got an ad in the little mailer.
Right.
Guess how many called me back?
None.
2.
Yeah.
Well, like, you're a buyer with money.
Right.
There's no better lead than that right there.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm motivated. And I called you and I said, I want this. And the guy was like, I don't know. Head scratching. Yeah, so I'm excited to get one. My brother's a huge Jeep fan, so I've got a younger brother that lives in Northern California, so I'll probably buy it just to spite him. I'm not a Jeep guy. I'm actually a sports car guy, but I'll buy it.
What you should be thinking of right now is what sort of personal license plate would be so cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Something that said like, "Ha ha, bro."
Yeah.
I had a couple of Grand Cherokees. They were good cars.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Sure.
I liked them, so that was kind of neat. But we're bumping into the end of our time here. I want to thank you guys again for coming through, for talking. One of the things that I think would be really neat as sort of a parting thought, someone who, because there's a lot of people that think about getting into the space of credit card processing and finance processing. What are the 3 reasons someone shouldn't start doing what you do?
Shouldn't? Yeah, but I think it's easy.
It's not easy.
If they're
it's
lazy,
a hard job.
If they're lazy.
And it takes years to build it.
And if they don't care about people.
Right.
Because, we're in a different space. You know, it's we are that trusted advisor.
Right.
And we obtain that status, or we don't even deal with the client.
Good.
We have a rule that if we wouldn't have them to dinner at our house, we don't want them as a client.
Exactly.
This great.
And we're in a position to stick by that rule.
Right.
It's a long-term view.
Right.
And that long-term view is critical because this space has evolved, still is evolving, and the changes in technology, systems, regulatory, decisions affect it. And somebody just trying to get into this will be overwhelmed and not able to sort it out and give you good advice. They may ask you good questions, but they don't have good solutions. So
as a consumer, let's give some advice back to the consumer then. If they say, if somebody comes and is knocking on their door saying, I'm selling credit card processing, I'm selling merchant services, what are some things the consumer should be asking?
Well, you're talking about a business owner.
Yep.
Business owner who sells to consumers in a retail fashion. He's got to know the company. There's a lot of ISOs out there. They have an independent sales organization. They've just paid money to have an agreement with, there's only really about 9 big processors. Okay, so you really got to check it out and see where they are and where they've been. Okay. And talk to some clients. The poor merchants, they get hammered by 10 of these guys a month.
Right.
That's why we don't do that. But if there's a merchant out there, if he'd like to just have a simple analysis of just break down who the players are. Here's what it is, and a lot of these guys have 7 machines in the back office, because that's the way those guys make money, is selling machines, and they got to buy a new one, that stuff. So if anybody's totally confused, we could probably square them away. But you got to be careful. The banks don't do it. The banks farm it out to somebody else. So if they think they're with their bank, that's not correct. There's some real big players in the business, and you can get lost in a binary number, right?
Right.
You can get way lost in that shuffle.
So he's right. Some of these big banks, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, they contract out merchant services.
Really?
And so that ISO or that provider, processor, it's their rules, not the bank's rules. Costco, the same thing.
Okay. Yeah. So we want to make sure someone comes banging on the door, they've got references, referrals,
And who is the processor? Because it's ABC Merchant Services. That's not the processor.
Got it.
Who's the processor you're using?
Okay.
Well, First Data is a big one.
Okay.
And First Data Global Payment Tech.
Okay.
TSYS. There's some big ones.
But they should call you first anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And here's the website again.
There you go.
And if you call the 877 number, who does it ring to?
Me.
Awesome.
Right to me.
All right. So, anything else?
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, you guys, this has been really fantastic.
Good time.
I appreciate
First of many.
I appreciate you guys
He
coming
invited
on.
us every Friday, Gary. So
Right.
We have
So-
to have something new to
You couldn't
say.
into my golf on normal Fridays, but it's raining today.
It is raining today. Yeah,
right.
we don't. I wouldn't force you to skip golf for
No,
this.
no.
We'll I'm gonna turn on our outro music.
This is your exit music?
It's sort of the same music, but
Oh, just played in
I can tell
reverse?
we're running out of time because they were starting to wander around.
we
That's cool.
This is Jack O'Neill.
the O'Neill clothing brand.
Oh. So do you have this whole line?
No, I just have one shirt.
Oh, okay. Well, are you selling any branded clothing items or giving your representatives post-launch T-shirts?
We have in the past. Let me drop this down.
That's a lot more fun than the radio